Hello and welcome everybody to the Skill Bharat Samman podcast. Today we have a very special guest. Miss, if you could please introduce yourself to the audience and tell us a bit about you and your school.
All right. Hello, Mr. Shreyaan, and I am Vidya Guruprasad, and I'm from Ryan International School. I head the school here in Bangalore. Ryan Group of Institutions is quite a well-known chain of schools with 147 branches across the country, and we happen to be the oldest ones in the south of India. I've been with this institution for 18 years now and have grown on various roles, starting right from a teacher.
Oh, wow.
So, being a teacher and then going into a senior teacher, a class teacher, section in charge, and a vice principal. And now, for the last 6 years, I'm the principal here. Um, it's been a great journey because I firmly believe I have grown along with these students here. And that's what I account to for my journey in this career as a teacher and as an educationist.
Amazing, amazing, ma'am. You're truly an inspiration, not only for us, but not also for many other schools and many other principals and aspiring teachers who really want to grow. So today we are going to dive deep into how did you do it, right? I mean, can you share a little bit of your secrets of how did you, as a principal get here, as well as what does your school do that makes it an example for any other schools? So these are a few things that we are very interested in.
Yes, and that's in fact something which highlights what Ryan does about, and also why I am so well connected and so well bonded with this institution. Uh, the first thing I believe is being governed by two eminent educationists. So, our Honorable Chairman, Sir, and our Managing Director, Madam, both are educationists.
Hmm.
And they themselves have grown in this field of education and experienced every stage of being a teacher and then imparting education and now running this entire chain and mentoring so many teachers, so many staff and the children. So that's the first highlight, which actually keeps us all bonded here and very well connected. So we love this association with all the eminent personalities who are. I mean, when I say personalities, they are for us because they have been standing there as an ideal. When I talk about our director, Dr. Snehal Pinto, our educational director, Mrs. Sonal Pinto, our CEO, who is a very dynamic personality, Mr. Ryan Pinto. So all five of them have been really inspirational and phenomenal leaders. So first is that which keeps us going and which keeps us at the focus of where we are. Coming to the institution now and its highlights, I think we are able to function very clearly and closely to our objectives and the output because of our vision. And unlike what I have seen or experienced about the vision which we impart to our stakeholders or the people who are connected with an institution, here we our objective is very futuristic and quite well organized. So behind me you see a board and that says a 12-point vision,
Okay.
right?
Wow.
So these are the 12 points of our vision. And you can imagine, Shen, this came in from our founder chairman at the inception of this institution. So this has one of the points which says media and environment, entrepreneurship. So one of the points is entrepreneurship. And that's what we are all talking about nowadays, right?
Correct.
And
Absolutely.
that's what we are trying to build among the children or the students community. So the leadership, entrepreneurship, the media, and all those aspects being into Sir's vision so early times is so futuristic, isn't it? It's so foresightedly planned. And this helps us probably to design our curriculum or design our activity plan and the extra platforms which we provide to our children very objectively and very clear. So
Wow.
I would just name few of that, which accounts to these vision points. So we have our banner called Ryan TV. And under this banner, we provide skill-based, obviously, media skill development program for our students. So in this branch of ours at Bangalore, we have a fully digitally equipped studio, and we offer courses like young journos and young directors, a one-day course. So these are all skill development, and we are talking about skill. And then even before, you know, engaging into entrepreneurship myself, and I'm not experienced it much, but I am engaging with the students here who have formed an entrepreneurs club. And under this entrepreneurs club, I have around 3 to 4 students who are entrepreneurs already. So along with their education, they are also working. They are also imparting job opportunities to many out there. And two of them are already running successfully. So probably he just graduates from his grade 12 and he gets into it completely. So entrepreneurship again happens to be a highlight now, and we are all, the entire world is talking about that, because as our prime minister clearly says, we have to clearly focus or impart education which can develop opportunities for job, or create jobs rather. So that's probably one highlight. And under this entrepreneurship club and the association of Ryan proners, we are providing them boot camp, and we are having organizations who come and take up internships. And so it kind of, I'm looking forward to having an incubation center here.
Oh, wow.
So that's the plan for this year, and I'm hoping that it materializes soon and we are able to bring children into the action and experience of being an entrepreneur, at least developing the passion of becoming an entrepreneur. So that's just two of that. But other than that, a simple example of leadership. So we all have, from our school days, we have known about school leadership, we have known about student leaders, we have known about student council. But here in Ryan, within the Ryan group, our student parliament is an exact replica of the Indian parliament. So we do a process which starts right from forming an electoral college, then moving on to campaigning. Before campaigning, of course, nominations, shortlisting of nominations, having an interview with the nominees, those who nominate themselves for various ministries or the portfolios, having interviewed them, moving forward with, of course, the elections and the investiture and their portfolio. We have open sessions with the ruling and the opposition party, the monsoon session and the winter session. So these are the examples of probably real life training, or rather say life skill training. And that's what is the need of the hour, the society, that we prepare futuristic citizens or futuristic human beings who are well equipped with soft skills. And that's what is missing, right? You want children to graduate fine with academics, maybe 80%, but not without the skills, right? So the skills is something which we are highlighting at, and that's what feels uh, being in Ryan is just a blessing.
Yeah, I can see that, academics is just 1 out of 12 points. So that is a really, really big, hats off. And definitely, I have not met a school which is so forward thinking, so progressive that,
Very true.
yeah, I mean,
We all feel so. We all, every education is, I mean, not only me as a principal here, we have so many. And we all feel that's something which keeps us very focused and passionate to work with this team. Because when you have your leaders so phenomenal, and they are so foresighted, and they can plan futuristic ideas, I think we are there to nurture that with the students.
absolutely. Definitely, Miss, I would love to, hear a bit more about like you said, your students have started an entrepreneurship club. You're even trying to start an incubation center.
Yes,
So,
yes.
uh, what? How did you get this idea for getting these kids into entrepreneurship? I mean, it's obviously one point of your vision, but uh, what makes you do it, and how can we do it across all the other schools? How can other schools adopt it as well?
Right. So this actually concept came into me during the pandemic. And though before that, as you said, we did have this as a point of our vision, but we were not explicitly working towards it. We did have interactive sessions, or people or entrepreneurs coming to the school, interacting with the children, encouraging and motivating them to become entrepreneurs, and how well established entrepreneurs they are, and that kind of an interaction was continuing
Right,
since years. We
right,
have our own alumni who are entrepreneurs. They come back, so we have an alumni connect, and they keep coming to the school for alumni talks. So they come and they
right,
interact with the, I think almost all the schools may have that. But our alumni is a rich asset here.
right.
So this used to continue,
Hmm.
but something around 3 to 4 years back is when I met a couple of students who who had a lot of passion to start something. A simple example: a student used to create, he was so much into gaming and things. He used to create apps, and I'm not very clear on those terms, but something like gaming options and things like that. And he was not having much of opportunity to display it, or to be, he didn't have any opportunity to let it reach out to the parents or the other community of students here. That's when I thought it needs to get developed. It needs to be developed in a way that they know their worth. And I firmly believe, communicating others' worth so clearly in them that they start seeing it in themselves. That's probably an ideal leadership, right? So that's when I thought, I think there should be a community of such students who have this passion to do something on their own, but they've not known about how to portray it, or how to publicize it, and how to display it, and how could they earn from it, and how could they actually provide an opportunity to others to also explore their work.
Right,
And that's what is entrepreneurship all about. And so over the last 2 years, I've been meeting such children. And this year is when I felt, okay, I need to go into the outside world where entrepreneurship is so much talked about. And where are these children going actually? Those who are
right,
motivated to become entrepreneurs, where are they going? Why don't they get those facilities in the school itself? And not only them, then the others also get benefited, right? And that's when we brought this to the school, rather than letting them go out and interact with those scattered entrepreneurs or leaders who can guide them and provide them funding and things like that. So I think this would be a better one-stop place for them, where they are guided well by the teachers, the school, and as well as being monitored on what they are doing, right? Because an
right.
adult supervision always helps. So probably that was in my mind, and very coincidentally, our directors also connected with certain organizations who would provide such connects to the school, bring in established entrepreneurs, speakers who can come and interact with them, provide them this motivation. So very soon we are going to have a boot camp at our school for the
Oh,
students in the month of September. Yes. And we are eagerly looking forward to it, and waiting on what would be the output, and how many more entrepreneurs would I see in the line. So that's interesting. That's
absolutely.
something which brought this into action.
So it's definitely, as you said, it was on your pointer, but it wasn't in action, it wasn't in focus.
Yes,
And
yes.
you had to really start working towards it to really make it happen. It wouldn't happen automatically. Or as you said, kids would go out to scattered organizations, but you would require it in your school in one single roof as a one-stop place. So definitely that's something that every school should,
Every
learn
school
from.
can. Yes.
Yeah, and it
And I'm
all
sure every school has this rich alumni asset, right?
Correct.
Because that's where you can harvest, that's where you can actually harness all the resources. Because among these alumni, the networking is the base, right? When we talk about entrepreneurship or any of the other aspects to it, networking is the essence. And what better networking than the alumni network? So I
Absolutely.
think that's the best way to proceed, or probably to initiate for a school.
Correct. Definitely. Miss, one point that I would really love to know about is the technology aspect.
Yes,
How are you guys taking up, new age technologies to your schools? Should kids learn about AI? How do they learn about it? How can they prepare for the future? That's something that we are also very excited.
right. Yes, that's something which we all are talking about, and also probably almost all the schools have implemented. So yes, having said that, we do have certain constraints and limitations when it comes to curriculum. Now we are an ICSE school, and ICC school, ICC pattern so called, is itself quite vast. So to take out time from those hours of students schooling and to provide to certain activities, it's a lot of deliberation and contemplation needed before we plan an academic session. So this last post, probably this, of course, everywhere began during the pandemic, that we started including technology into all aspects of learning. But here within Ryan, we were already well equipped with technology, and hence we were probably the first ones here to start our online classes way back in 2020. And we started it as early as March and April is when we started. So we were all equipped, ready. Of course, our teachers were using the platform for learning resources, sharing of resource material and their daily assignments, and lot of our communication, attendance, results, report cards, everything was already digitized. So teachers were well equipped. Yes, they needed a little evolution, and I continue to say that, and I always say that everybody has evolved during those 2 years,
Correct.
and that's been a great evolution for this, because it's not going to go back. It will always be forward now,
Right.
hereafter. And so that stage, only thing what happened post the 2 years, that enhanced. Now that we were equipped with online classes and technology to exhibit the learning material or the teaching material digitally to the children with the help of AI. And even prior to that, we were already equipped with the interactive classes and the class with Tata Class Edge. And I think that with our math lab, we have a math lab here. So these resources were already inclusive of technology, and the teachers did find it beneficial, because learning and assimilation became quite easy and
Mhm.
faster when these were in place. Yes, now post pandemic, we have evolved with enhancements in these technologies, but we have also added certain learning curriculum material. So when it comes to STEM, we have our a STEM content as a subject,
Okay.
right? So we run classes on STEM for the children through an organization called Stemplify, and we do have our own design thinking curriculum, and that's a part of an embedded program with our daily curriculum for all the across all classes. So
Amazing.
that's something which came in post pandemic. So
Yeah.
that as a period, as a class, as a curriculum, it didn't exist, but yes, it came in during the post pandemic. And now these robotics, so we are training the children with robotics. There
Wow.
is an aero modeling session, there is robotics, and there's an astronomy session for the children. So that, yes, there's a limited time. It may not be that these content or these training sessions happen every day for a class as compared to those core subjects,
Correct.
but yes, they are now included. And the children are all into the line of being trained and exposed to these aspects of digital learning.
Absolutely.
And teachers too, right? In that way, not only the children. the teachers too are equipped. So
Correct.
that's meaning that's whatever said and done. That's after all bringing us a good output in the assimilation and the concept learning of the children.
Right.
So it's not only that the content, what they learn during the robotics or the STEM course is just limited to that content and being assessed there, but it's helping in their regular learning of the content as well.
Hmm.
So this is how technology is embedded here
Absolutely.
in Ryan.
Definitely a really, really futuristic approach. The one thing that I really love about, yeah, I mean, I love many things, but the number one thing is the futuristic thoughts that
Yes.
you all have. Miss, now let's get into the rapid fire round. It's basically,
Okay.
I'll ask you a question, you have to answer only in one word. Okay.
Okay.
So, it's short, it's going to be Chris. So, first question is, uh, if you had, if your student had a board exam and an international competition on the same day, which one would you allow them to go to?
I would ask for the board exam that may not have a choice, but the international examination, international, if it is an Olympiad or any other examination, then there are options. But if it is an international study examination, right now at this stage, I would prefer the international examination.
Okay.
If
Uh,
it is not an Olympiad or any other examination, I believe
it's
Olympiads, there are many
competition.
options they can.
Yeah, yeah. It's like a competition, like, maybe something like sports competition, like a swimming competition,
Oh,
international. Like,
yes, I would anytime take an option for the international examination and give a scope to take up the board academic exam anytime later. I
okay.
would, because
Wow.
I'm doing that, in fact. I'm doing that, yeah.
Amazing.
So
Uh,
there is a student here, just to add on, there's a student here who's an international skier.
oh,
And she is now skiing in international circuits. She's trained from Austria. So we and the parents are in deliberation on what to do for her board exams. So this year she was supposed to face 2024 board examinations. So most probably we are going to plan for her to skip the board examination
okay.
and get prepared for the Winter Olympics. So that's an
Amazing.
example.
Amazing. Wow, that is something that actually really gave me goosebumps.
Oh
It's
yeah, watching
so,
her does it, because I had personally never seen her skiing, and she's probably it's very rare, right? I mean, ice skiing, children don't choose, and
yeah, yeah,
she's quite passionate about it. It's the child's passion, and we
absolutely
are probably only the facilitators to support in these smaller aspects.
correct. Miss, my next question is, if you could go back to school in today's time, what would you learn as a student?
Okay, I would want to explore entrepreneurship if I
Okay,
had the opportunity, because that's something, rest everything was still there. And that time, probably we didn't need technology that much. So I may not ask for AI or robotics or anything. But entrepreneurship is something that's very close to my heart. And I believe everyone should aspire to at least start up in some way.
amazing, amazing. It really feels good when you say entrepreneurship because I myself am an
You
18.
are an entrepreneur. Yes,
Yeah.
I have seen your, I've
It
seen the
definitely,
video which has been shared. Yes, yes, yes.
yes.
And you're amazing in that. Yeah. You have clear
Thank
thoughts and that
you.
attracts, fascinates.
Absolutely. My third question to you is if you had all the resources in the world, what would you introduce for your students?
All the resources, you mean digital or
You had all the
academics?
money, you had all the teachers, you had all the infrastructure. What would you introduce?
I would introduce a value study, a value based learning. Probably that's not going to come through any resource. So I would probably invent my own, lab or kind of an activity or an, program which would develop humility and certain values in the children. Because whatever skill they have in future, if they don't, I mean, that's what we are humans for, right? So, so those
Absolutely.
values is something which needs to add on. If everything is there, they get trained, but nobody would train for values.
Wow. And that's the number one point in your vision.
Yes. Oh,
So
yes. That's right.
definitely values is a really, really important skill.
Very important. Yes.
Uh, Thank you so much, Miss, for giving your time in a
My
working day,
pleasure.
working hours, in school hours. And
Yes,
you've really taken your time out. And I'm really excited to see you in the Skill Bharat Samman on 26th
me too.
August.
Me too.
So,
Yes.
definitely waiting for you out there. Thank you so much for giving this podcast.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Thank you. All the best to you.
Thank you so much, Miss. Okay, bye bye. See you.
Bye.